So I would just wish to start with asking you that why are all of us present here today? What is the significance of this particular day and all the anushthan that are being carried out since morning? So all the puja, all the sadhana, what is the meaning of all these and what is the significance in larger sense?
Okay, Shri Matre Namaha. Any puja in our Hinduism, especially the Shri Vidya puja, is of three types: para, apara, para. Para means it is something at a very high cosmic level that you have some rituals or things like that, or doing the upasana without any, any items along with you and doing the puja, all the rehearsals for your jnana and other things like that. Apara puja is all the puja that we see just over there, along with materials like the pushpam and so many people gathering together, the havan, the homam, then items especially gathered for the homam, and flowers specially bought all the way from somewhere down south, nice flowers. All these items, whatever the puja that we do, is called a apara puja. There is nothing wrong with apara puja. We have to start with apara puja, but we cannot stop at the apara puja. From apara puja, we have to go to apara and para puja, and then to para puja. Theoretically, you see all the people who are done, who are engaged in the puja now, they are all very knowledgeable people in Shri Vidya, and therefore they are not just doing an ordinary para puja. When I say ordinary para puja, I am not degrading that, I am just telling that for sake of understanding. They are doing a kind of a apara para puja. Means they are in constant touch with that deity with whom they are worshipping. At times they are in a dhyanam, the deity what is there in front is the same thing what is in the Hridayam, and at times they are doing a kind of power, distinguishing themselves different from the deity and doing a archana, puja and all those things. So this kind of a puja, what will happen is, this is the thing at the beginning level. This is what will create enthusiasm in all the people to understand what is going on. Now let me try to understand, is it that what is new in that kind of a thing? Normally we all fear God. No, we don't have to fear God, we have to in fact only love God, we have to understand God. And so simply in a big function like this where different people gather together and see, it's not monotonic or monotype kind of aradhana that we are doing. We are doing a different kind of variations in that puja. So people get together, there is some sort of a bhajan, there is some sort of a kirtan and other things like that, and therefore this creates an interest. And with this interest, they will start understanding, oh, let me get into the next level, So basically, this function, what is conducted here, is a kind of a apara para puja, where I found that Rakesh Vyas, the main person who was organizing this event, along with the support of the senior upasakas from Ahmedabad as well as from the Peetham, he has invited people from different parts of India, and they are all coming here now to participate. So I am here now from Mumbai, from Bombay, and from place like Karkoka. I am associated with that with this organization, and I am closely associated with all the senior upasakas who are all there in Ahmedabad and here. And I have come here to participate in this and again mix with them because for the last 2-3 years during the Corona time they were having some big functions, but I could not participate. So I am coming here from Bombay just to participate in that, see the other upasakas, and most importantly, every day is a learning day for me. I learn everything. I read the newspaper, the idea is that to learn from the speaking tree. Every day is a learning experience and new explanations that come. But when I give any explanation today, it will not be the same thing as what I have given even 1 year before to someone else. The explanation will be different. Not because it is something I continuously learn. Based on that, I am I'm trying to give a better answer. That's why I'm here.
If you could please tell us something about your life journey, because every sadhak has lived a wonderful life and we all can learn so much from that. So if you could share some of your life experiences and what motivated you to get associated with this Paramparā.
Frankly speaking, I have not come to Shri Vidya branch just because my parents or grandparents and those for that. I was not attracted by any other Guruji or Sadhu or something like that, and that's why I entered this. All these things, I was just neutral. I am a very highly, originally a Vedic Paramparā person, doing regularly whatever that Vedic acharan that is to be done. As a normal person, I am not very much learned in Vedas now, but I was understanding what is the religion and the necessity of God, and I was observing, I was just following all those normal rules. And suddenly I realized by reading a lot of articles in newspaper and things like that, all of us, I am a very highly scientific person, and when I say scientific person, I clearly understand what is the difference between science and all other things that we say. When we say scientific, what we are talking is, we are logical. We are not talking anything as a science means experiment and you have to prove and the results and all those things. Logic is not like this. The advance in the science is in fact fully logical. Most of the, whatever the discoveries that we make in the field of even the field of atomic science or in the space science and things like this, black matter, black hole and many other things, they are all based on some sort of a logic thing and mathematics, not based on experiments. You will be surprised that by mathematics only we invented, we discovered that there should be a particular particle, a fundamental particle, or and later on it was proved by some university at the cost of billions and billions of dollars that by experiment they proved yes it exists. That is but prediction by mathematics. So many times that is logic. Mathematics is not only logic. So at the higher level science becomes equal to logic. Logic is what subsequent, step by step increasing your knowledge. One definition, yeah, very simple definition. So now I just understood we are all getting exposed to various aspects of science, biology and all. In Shri Vidya also we do believe in a kind of evolution. Evolution that is that we believe that only a very few, very knowledgeable people will understand about it. But at the same time we also believe that safety must have happened in the way that Vedas and other things describe. Now we are all from animals, we have become grown into human beings, and from human beings also now slowly have become a good citizen, a good human being, and from that we slowly graduate ourselves up and up, and we try to develop a quest for what is Shri Vidya and things like that. And then a quest for understanding Shri Vidya, understanding some fundamental questions like what is life, is there really a rebirth? See, these questions have earlier bothered me very much on that. Is there really like a rebirth? And what is, Papa and Punya, Vasana, and so many things that we hear. All these things really was, interpretation of this was bothering me. And bothering me means I was getting more into details, trying to understand what it is and all. And and that is what ultimately, brought me to this field of Shri Vidya. Because this Shri Vidya, as I just started with the sloka, Anuttaram means it is supposed to be the ultimate, more than that something is not there. And Mahasamvit, Samvit is an aspect of the intelligence, pure intelligence. So, like this, many other things, when I read this sloka, that sloka here, there, I came to know about various aspects of that one. So initially, I was basically a very scientific person. I had finished my MSc degree in science and joined the pharmaceutical organization. And there also, I was throughout, while working in the organization, almost throughout the thing, I was studying something or other in the evening time and appearing for all examinations not paid by where I had to appear for public examinations to get a degree, that kind of thing. Licentiate in plastic technology, licentiate in rubber technology and various things, and diploma in industrial management, university course and many other things. So all these things took me from the age of 24, 25 Even after marriage, I was continuously learning. And then by about, when I came to about the years about 30, right in those times, I used to attend the lectures on Ramayana and Mahabharata, some discourses by the very great knowledgeable person from South. The kind of discourses what used to happen at that time is very much different from the discourses what happens today. They are all very knowledgeable people, and they will talk only about Dharma Shastras and all. Today, people from all over India even give on telephone calls, sometimes check with me. This is the thing, what it is and what I can do and what is the interpretation and all. I give the answers only because I learned all these things not as a formally as a very Shastra person with any guru like that, but because I listened to all these lectures for a very long time, and I read some books published by Kanchi Kamaputi, Acharya, Supanyasam and all. See, these two things made me thoroughly knowledgeable in our Hinduism. So all these things took from the age right from 15 or 16 years right up to my age of 39, 40 years. And I had my very first initiation at the age of 15, and being coming from a Shaivite origin, worship over Shiva, I got the initiation in those mantras and initially and all. And from some great person and discourse Pandit like this, great Acharya. And then of course I waited for Shri Vidya for nearly 10-15 years till my search into this field came, because the first thing that was a block to me to enter into Shri Vidya was Shri Vidya is a Tantra Shastra. The moment you hear the word Tantra, your mind immediately goes to something else, black magic and all those things. So now it took me a lot of time, because I did not stop at that just because of the doubt came. Accepting, I did not accept failure. I wanted to go further into that and understand what is Tantra, what is Yantra, what is Mantra, and whether whatever the various philosophies, whatever we have got, whether it can be connected together to have some total knowledge. From that kind of an urge, and I worked on this very much. My house is full of various books, and I am not interested in politics, I am not interested in cinema, I am not interested in sports, nothing like that of that kind. And still my wife tolerated me, but then I learned a lot of things like this with the various things like this. And then I went to Shri Vidya about where my Guruji himself came and told me, now that we have waited up, and I think now I am going to give you. And then initially to my Guruji, I said for 15 years I was not agreeing for Shri Vidya Diksha, but I agreed at the age of 38, 39, something like that. And then from that time till today I am in Shri Vidya field. So this is my journey. And in 2005 till that time I served as an organization, and in the organization I had some occasion to visit different places in India for office purposes. But then my duty will always end by about 12 o'clock or 2 o'clock like that. So evening time was totally free for me. So I used to visit Upaskas in those places and get an idea with them, knowledge with them and all. And that's how I built up my knowledge. I built up a total knowledge. I knew about what all different things this talks about, this talks about. And then with all these things, when I finally got into Diksha, right from the very next week, I started my Puja and Sadhana and other things. The way my Guruji told me, don't have to wait, because everything I was aware totally. It was only the Guru who came and gave me the initiation. I went. So this is my journey to that, this one. And from 2000 till 2005, whatever the Puja I was doing, I kept it as a top secret. There is nothing great about that. I don't have to make it as a secret. But why to mention about your personal things? That's all. See, even in fact, when my both the daughters, they were studying. One is an engineer and one is a doctor. Both are in USA. I never allowed them to come from that room to my puja room. I just told them, as a student now, this thing is to concentrate on the studies, and you have to do that studies only that one. Just come once to the hall, to the puja room, and do one namaskaram and go away. That's enough. And your whole thing will be taken care of by Devi, because as a student now, studying that one is a form of worship. And now the advice I gave to my daughter when she went after getting the doctorate, the MBBS or further degree, and went to USA, is that now that when you are in the working there, you see that this work you do as a nice service. So she is attached to the hospital. She is not doing a private practice, attached to the hospital and doing some kind of a service. And said this service itself will take you to the heights of Shri Vidya, what is needed. in between a few occasions you listen to me in the lecture over the mobile and the things which she has. And now I have made her also a full-fledged Shri Vidya of the highest order by giving her Diksha and other things. And this is my journey. So 2005 I became public. In the sense, that is the time I came to the various parts of India, and I came to this Peetham also. At the time Devi Baba was there. She gave me a lot of support, and at that time I invited them for the participation in that Puja, that is Ashtashtaka Puja, Ashtashtaka Mahayaga. Even all the five Peethams of Shankaracharya were not knowing what is Ashtashtaka Mahayaga, because this is not any Vedic Kriya or anything like that. It's taken from Tantra, and that particular thing, I explained to them what it is and all. I gave a lot of support and blessings from all the acharyas and this one. Then I conducted the puja, where all I did was I collected the upasakas from 15 different Guru Mandalams from all over India. When I say different Guru Mandalams, some two persons may have the same Guru, but if they have one more level Parama Guru different, then I call it as a different Guru Mandalam. So they may have different, they may have a Parama Guru same, but if they have two different Gurus, I call it as a different Guru Mandalam. So that way it was more than 15 different people. And I went through the procedure of the Puja, because Apara Puja we had to start with that, So Apara Puja, and then I found that, see, there is something common in all these things, although the Apara Puja was a little different, but I saw to it that, everyone that did the Avahan at the same time, and everyone did the final, Aarti at the same time, everyone did the Homa at the same time. So with all these things, I found that I can bring in some sort of a common understanding about all these things. And then I formed in the 2006, on 14th of January or so, I began this Guru Mandala Parishad, where with all these contacts with the people, they have all become very close friends. And then immediately I started getting invitation from all these people from different Guru Mandalams, my son's marriage, you come and attend my this one, so, and things like that, for all the functions. That is how we became close. And then I thought, a kind of a Guru Mandala Parishad I made, where everyone joined that one and was very, very actively interested. And I also participated in various and earlier what was happening, just as I was myself keeping my puja a kind of a sacred thing, although there was no need for that, from 1984 to 2005. Similarly, any Guru Mandalam always used to be restricted to their own people. They were allowing some few visitors from the world, otherwise they were not per se allowed. But after this, the different Guru Mandalams got mixed up one another, and they joined together and started doing some public events. And my condition for this Guru Mandala Parishad was, you can put the board the moment you find it is not your own Guru Mandalam's function. It is a function organized by your Guru Mandalam, where other Guru Mandalam people also you have invited, one or two. Then you put that board, banner, because the Guru Mandala organization, this Guru Mandala Parishad is not a registered organization, there is no bank account, there is no such president, chairman, secretary, nothing like that. It is just a virtual organization, but it's an organization which has done a lot of good work. Published one book of Saubhagya Kalpa Dharma, which was not published so far. I happened to get some manuscripts from 3 different places, and one professor from Sanskrit University of Varanasi, Sampurnanand Sanskrit University professor, he verified those things and took about 2-3 years, but ultimately the book came out with all that, this one in print, Saubhagya Kalpa Dharma. Maybe one more book maybe will be coming now, Saubhagya Kalpa Latika. So one of the purpose of my Guru Mandala Parishad was to see that I unite all the people, we all crisscross and share our views, and even now when we come here, we talk different things, we exchange our views, we become more enlightened in the process. Not just exchange some slokas and other things like that. That is incidental. We all understand about the philosophy, the meaning of the things like that. Another thing that fascinated me in Shri Vidya is that the whole Shri Vidya Puja takes about 3.5-4 hours. So it is not a Apara Puja, along with some of little Apara like that, we put it that way. But then I found that this puja I would break up into 36 parts. The 36 is a big number, is a good number in our Tantra field. So 36 parts, And then every individual things I started giving the explanation, reading that one from the published books, and stretching my own imagination in a proper way and getting that some truth behind that, and I could give something like 36 lectures on the various topics. It is so much of truth is there, so much of understanding of that step by step by step. If you want to understand the puja, first of all you should understand each step, what is the significance of this, and what is the significance of the next step in relation to the first step. See, that's how you go, the puja becomes continuous. So those things are also, and then I am part of the Shri Vidya Guru Mandala Parishad activities at Singapore. I had many contacts, developed further contacts, and whereby the knowledge got personally for my benefit, it does, which I could share also with many other people from India.
And as you spoke about science and also about Sanatana Dharma, this brings me to my next question, which would be a subject of curiosity for many people. So there is a notion which, according to which that many phenomena in the Sanatana Dharma are viewed as something non-scientific, because science does not have that capacity or agency to explain or give reasons for the same. But now there is a consciousness which is emerging that Sanatana Dharma is actually super science. It is something that science cannot give explanations as of yet, because it has not reached at that position. So do you feel there is a convergence between science and Dharma? And if you could put it in your own way.
There cannot be a convergence between this religion or this kind of a Shri Vidya philosophy and basically the science. See, these two are different and these two are different. There is no doubt about that. But a train cannot run unless you have both the rails. See, one and the other should be there. So when you want to conduct a normal intellectual life, see, you must believe both in science as well as in Sanatana Dharma. But not just believe the Sanatana Dharma because it is handed over by your Guru or Brahma Guru or Paramparā Guru. I will talk times little controversial, but you may censor whatever that is not needed. Similarly, don't take because it is written in this book, that book and all. I have done a lot of research work, or we have done a lot of research work on many books that are published in the last 300 to 350 years. And what is wrong in that book we are aware. Because it is all individual secular thing that has got into it. And many of these books they will say we have taken from certain manuscripts and other things like that. And manuscripts are individuals this one. And because it's Paramparā and that part, but so one you should have an idea of knowing something which is whether it is recent or whether it is a very original, what it is there like that. That ability and all, you have to slowly develop that part. So coming back to your question about this modern science and that, please don't tell that the moment there is some scientific discovery, immediately we try to say that yes, people were already aware, our Hindus were already aware in thousands of years ago. Nonsense. Why should we say that just because a recent discovery is there, we should think that we were, at that time some people were knowing and all. You should say that written that was that. Now science has proved it. You should have told that. Just as instead of calling Shakespeare as a, or calling Kalidasa as a modern Shakespeare, you should call Shakespeare as a modern Kalidasa, because Shakespeare is much later. Kalidasa is very original, right? So like that, in our very ancient Hinduism, where one aspect of Hinduism is pure intelligence. One aspect has been that of puja, tyaga, yajna and other things like that. You don't say that something great with that. See, and we try to prove that many times, do some sound experiments, and simply with the sound something plant grows and that they can all. Those are all to be taken with a bit of salt. See, actually it cannot be done with one experiment, it has got to be done with a number of experiments at different places, and then you establish that. Nothing has been established like that. The mantra for the power of the mantra and all is so far not yet established. Although there are some references I see, which is coming in WhatsApp or other thing, giving reference to some experiments done in famous laboratories in UK, USA and all. And whereby the structure of ice, how it becomes different when someone chants Vedic mantras and the water is kept allowed to become ice, and the structure wise is different from the time when someone chants the bell and someone not chanting is at that time how it is different. See, all these things are there that this one, but it has got to be taken with a bit of salt. In all these experiments, it is true, but many times it cannot be in a true, a total this extent. Somewhere there it will fail. Even in science, many of the things that what we discovered earlier with a series of experiments called as laws. All these laws became, invalid after some time. When Newton discovered the relativity, see, he said that all the scientific laws are valid provided the observer is not moving. If the observer is also in motion, then all your laws go spat. See? So then his theory of relativity came and I don't want to go so much in detail to that. So all the laws were disproved. And then of course from that thing it came. It has got a second. When the earth is moving, when you are moving, you are fairly stationary. And one should understand. So when we read this, for example, now earlier it was about 30-40 years ago, matter and energy are the same. When the science discovery was there, people start reading the book and all. I have seen people telling that, oh, Shiva and Shakti are the same. We were already aware, Sanatana, Dharma. Today it says that there is nothing like matter. There is only energy. What do you say that now? So you have to hang your head in shame if you are told that just because of the science, something told in Shastras, because Shastras very clearly say that Shiva and Shakti are interchangeable, there is nothing like Shiva, there is nothing Shakti, there is only Shakti or only Shiva, something is beyond that. All those things are there. Now reading only one part and trying to immediately connect with science, you go wrong. Okay? So science is something to be taken advantage of and use science to understand certain spiritual phenomena. Of course, I have not yet said the difference between science and spirituality. I will come to that. Certain spiritual observation and use the spiritual observation or ancient knowledge to understand something about science today. For example, today I have told this to one or two very great scientists. The Saturn is told to be a putra of Surya. So Shani is Surya Putra. So I have to given some hint to some people that you try to find out that the Saturn must have come from sun, some part. It cannot have come from the out there because this is how. Whereas still today nothing, no research perfect. So I am just ordinary individual by telling to one or two people in a planetarium and all things will not happen. But it is something that kind of a thing we should do. If you want to really test our Sanatana Dharma science. If you say that Chaya Shanigra is Surya Putra, you find out like this. Okay? And that's why you have to. Okay, coming to this one now. Question now. So these two things are separate. Both have got their use. Only with the both only we can progress that one. So all these two things are there. So we should unnecessarily don't or try to understand which I am doing now in some way, in a little manner, by some simple stories, by some simple phenomena, trying to explain. For example, recently I read one of the books like that. Someone was telling you are doing a Nivedana to your God in a big puja like that, with all the things spread over various items, and you are offering to Devi. But where is Devi taking? Nothing is happening to that item. Not even a single piece is being eaten by her. What is all this nonsense? So a science man does not believe that. Oh, see, but then you have to answer him properly, Unless you have the answer for that, then don't do this. Or at least expose that person to it. See, for that a simple explanation given by one of the great knowledgeable person was, he said that okay, I fully understand it. He gave him some book, kind of different books about the you by heart this chapter number 70 or the September, whatever it is, one particular small chapter, and then come to me after after 15 days. So after by hearting, he came back to the and returned back the book to me. So when the book was returned, he asked him, have you read this, can you by heart and tell me out. So he told that. Then he said, but this thing is also here in the book itself. Yes, it is in the book. I have just by heart and taken my heart. So do you understand? Like this, what is in the book, you can capture in your mind and still it will be in the book. So like this, the prasadams what we are all keeping, all these prasadams we are offering to God, and God is taking that saramsham of that, and these items are still there for you to take that one. So now, if you understand a kind of a parallel logic, see, logic. Go by logic. Don't go by science. The moment you handle the science is logic. So long as science is logic, no doubt, but don't use the term science. Then get into a lot of complications. What we essentially mean is logic. So everything is logic. Try to understand. Anything that you don't understand the logic, don't do it. Don't for emotions, do not do any puja. Understand that one. And then I gave it to a challenge also to some of the youngsters who come to my house. Yes, every small thing I will explain to you. What is put as Shastras. If the Shastras say that, after going to the bathroom and you have to wash your feet, that thing, that is the meaning in that. You have to gargle your mouth so many times. There is some scientific basis for that. I will explain that. And now, at the time of taking your food, your feet will have to be wet just before sitting on the dining table for food. Go to the bathroom and wash your leg. Because we all what we do wash the leg. Only when you go from outside to now, we don't wash. And that also in the modern world, I have come wearing the chappal, therefore I don't have to wash. I told I fire my housemaid also, even if you are coming in chappal or you are directly or landing up with the swan, the moment you come to my house, you have to wash your feet before you enter anywhere there like this. Because my entire house is Devika Devalayam, that kind of a thing. So you have to wash means what? But we understand now that kind of thing, why we wash that. I can go on explaining that one. I don't want to get into so much into that, but everything can be explained logically. And whatever our Shastras have said, everything is beneficial for the human body. Nothing is not beneficial. There is some truth in that. Very. Even to that extent, when you put a tambulam, you have kind of pan in your mouth. Shastras say that the first, whatever that saliva that comes, throw it out. That is Visham. It will term the term as Visham and Amritam. You should not take it literally meaning Visham means you will die actually. Otherwise you will say everyone who is doing that. Why? Because the moment we remain without doing anything, our mouth becomes dry. And the moment when the saliva solidifies, there are certain bacteria and certain other things are there. So when you put the pan, the first thing is just like washing your mouth and throwing it out. Subsequently take the benefit of the pan because pan will give, as more saliva gets secreted, they will come to see. So all these small things are there, so much in our Shastras. So Shastras are highly logical. There is nothing about superstition or anything like that. That people come to me and say, yeah, if someone says that I put the thing, I get the God in my dream, it has come or it has come and given me, then yes, that is all don't believe. Because see, a thing should happen, whatever that happens very logically, if we are able to repeat it again and again and all, so logic. So now science and logic, science is logic, spirituality. Spirituality means where you don't name the God, you believe that there is some supernatural power. It has ultimately created the whole universe, that one. Only that much you believe, because the whole universe is nothing but operating with 17 or 21, so many constants. There are many constants. Mathematics is nothing but the whole universe. Mathematics is finally, is God. That is a very good book. Is mathematics God? Because everything is explained in mathematics. Many of these, if you understand mathematics well, and many of things you do. And logic, because mathematics is again logic. So it has got to be science. Mathematics is science. It is not only physics and chemistry or science. Mathematics is also a science. And that's why mathematics is also very highly logical. And we can understand all the many other phenomena we can understand by mathematics. Even the simple thing of a Sri Chakra, when people come to me, I explain to them in various mathematical things. A small dot going out into some tree, triangle, it is not expanding as a line. Going out a tree. That is a beautiful phenomena of that creation of the Deva Sadhana. And now to the youngsters, what I will advise is, if you just see the world, you will see the world, there are so many wrong things are going on. So much of misery or so much of, on one hand you will just see a lot of, ways that by which you can get some pleasure out of various things. But in another way you find a lot of wrong things are going on. So in such a thing, don't get disheartened by those things. Okay? Just as if I give you in a bowl of rice, where the 4 or 5 only black grains are there, stones are there, what you will say when you are looking at that? Oh, it is full of stones. There are only 5 stones on the top and it contains millions of grains. Only 5 stones, but what you describe? Full of stones. Okay? So that's why when we see the world outside, we seem to get a feeling that everything is going on in the world. Don't get that this one. Things are not that bad. You can still get, even though, no, you don't say you will correct the world. That is where you will make a mistake. You don't correct the world. But you try to live peacefully even in these disturbing circumstances. Now there are many people who will come and ridicule you when you are observing some religious ritual or something like that. Don't get bothered by that. But if that is so, someone came and asked me, I am wearing a thread. The moment I go to the swimming pool, the moment people see the thread in me, they all laugh at me and they ask questions. Okay, keep your thread wound to the nabi. That's all. Just because the thread is wound to the nabi doesn't mean you have become from that part of the caste structure from that to down like this. You can always do something by which you can avoid that. So there are always ways to don't create any controversy. See that you live in unison with all the people in Sadhana and live very intelligent life. And today's modern generation is talking about intelligence. Everywhere you are carrying intelligence in your hand. There is such a lot of information, everything is there. So today's younger generation need not worry about what is going on wrong and down. In spite of all the things, there are certain good things are also happening in a big way, and there are certain other whereby you get a lot of opportunity to learn something more intellectually and different. And therefore they can very easily come into this kind of a field like Shri Vidya, where rituals are there, and if you want, you can always transcend the rituals to a little higher level by understanding the meaning, understanding this one. And you go from Apara level Puja to Para level like that, slowly climb up like this. And so in fact in today's world, this is the kind of a thing which will always be available to you. And there is one very, very important concept in Shri Vidya. And that important concept often missed by people is that Sagaja Ananda. See, you are born with Ananda. So Ananda means a kind of Ananda means not different between joy, pleasure and happiness. All these three are different words. In English is also a very beautiful language. I have a great appreciation for English because it says the joy of doing something, the happiness from something. Okay? And therefore these words are very clear that in terms of what is, even the definition of that will give you. Okay? And therefore there is one Anandam that is which we are all born with. Okay? That is Sagaja Anandam. Means Sagaja means born along with. And now many times what happens is because we are certain things getting emotionally disturbed or we try to compare the one with the others and all, we tend to lose this Sagaja Anandam. And slowly, try to understand, don't go into big philosophy of such as Anandam, Gunam Brahma, and you have to meditate on the Gunam Brahma and all. Those are all in today's world. You may find the time, you may not find the time, you may find it meaningful, you may not find it meaningful, or after doing all these things, you will become, a worse atheist, not believing God and rituals and all. So it is better that, you follow the path, in a gradual manner, and understand that this one, that nothing should disturb your basic ananda, basic happiness with which you are born with. Happiness is little different from pleasure. Pleasure is coming from, by the enjoyment of the 5 senses, and we have a kind of a happiness. I'm using the term happiness, but just to understand what is happiness, what is not happiness. So happiness can come from the 5 senses, touch, smell and all those things, and then it can also come by the mind. That means you see a beautiful a cinema and say picture or something like that. After coming back from there for next 10 or 15 minutes, you are just remembering some other things and becoming happy and being very happy about it. You can enjoy that. So you kind of a happiness, although temporary, it is a happiness by the mind. Okay? And then there is happiness by the buddhi, intelligence. That happiness is nothing but when you solve a crossword or a Sudoku or something like that. The moment you find the answer, you jump with joy. The last thing, what was the clue? You found that one, and so that is the kind of happiness you get from yes, buddhi, manas, buddhi, and ahankara. And the last happiness is that you remain in some meditation and try to understand what is kind of an anandam you get just by remaining silent. That's all. The silence is, of course, we say silence is golden and all. And silence, peace, and these are all related. Peace, silence, and inactivity. Yeah, peace, silence, and some sort of a this thing that inactivity. These are the three main things that is also told as a triangle in the Shri Vidya. The 8th avarana is told as that, and try to understand that, and these things you will find that slowly when you get into this Shri Vidya field, listening to this, understanding this Shri Vidya philosophy from many other things. Initially start with mantra japa, get some mantra, understand why the mantra. So mantra is something like we can begin with that one because it is again a kind of a logic is that beginning that. So it can begin with that kind of Paramparā Puja and slowly go into the higher levels and then understand that one. Then you will be in perfect peace, equanimity status of nothing will bother you. You will get concerned. You will get extremes will not bother with that kind of a thing, and that is the advantage of Shri Vidya. That is what will happen. After getting Shri Vidya, you may not find somebody came and asked me, what will happen to me after getting this, getting into Diksha, Shri Vidya and other things. He said, no, nothing will happen to you. Your wife or your family will start telling you, you are getting less angry nowadays on us. I am finding it more agreeable with you. All these things will happen. So that is what will happen. And whatever that we lose something from us, say, like the ego and other things, and that is what is going to be the benefit of Shri Vidya. So without you asking the question, I think I have already answered the question.